Hey YouTubers, Danny here with Elite Mechanics. Today we're going to be showing you how to install aftermarket headlights from DNA Motoring for your 2007 through 2013 Chevy Silverado. This process is simple and most common for these trucks, so let's get to it.
So the basic tools you'll need to start the job will include these that's shown below. First thing, you'll need something small, like a small container, to hold the bolts that you take out from the headlight assembly. You'll also need these lock wire push connectors, because this is what you're going to splice your positive and your negative to get your daytime running lights. You're also going to need a small pair of channel locks, and this will help you push these and also remove the clips in the front on the grill. You're going to need a ratchet, or you could use an impact. That'll make the process go a lot faster. You're also going to need a drive extension, because some of the bolts, they're pretty deep in the headlight assembly, so it'll make it a lot easier. You're going to need a small flathead screwdriver, also a 10mm wrench, and a 10mm socket. And of course, you'll need these pretty headlights.
So the first step is, after you pop your hood, it has 8 small clips that hold the grill cover in place. So what you want to do is, it's 2 lips that you want to have. The first one, you get your small flathead and push it up. You don't have to have it all the way out, but you push it up just enough where you can get the bottom flathead under that bottom lip, and then you pry it out. So we're going to repeat this step for all 8 of these clips that are shown below. So now that when you have all your clips removed, you make sure you put them somewhere in a safe storage so they won't get lost, and then you take the panel and remove it.
So next on the list, guys, the top of the grill has 4 10mm bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4 that you want to remove, and this will loosen up the top cover part of the grill. So what you're going to need is your 10mm socket, and if you have an impact driver, grab that, or if you have a ratchet, you can manually do it. So now that you have the 4 10mm bolts removed and stored securely, there are 6 clips that hold the grill in place. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you have 1 behind the guard on each side. I'm not sure if you can see it. That's on one side, and there's the one on the other. So what you want to do is get some small channel locks, or if you have needle nose pliers, you can use those, and all you want to do is just clamp it from the side and push down and pull out at the same time, and you do that for each clip and your grill will pop out.
So after you have all your clips loose, you want to pull up and pull out on the grill. The whole entire grill assembly will come loose, and you set this aside somewhere safe. So now you can start removing the actual headlight bolts. If you don't remove the grill before you do the headlight bolts, you will not be able to access and remove the headlights. So each headlight assembly has 3 10mm bolts. 1, 2, and the third one, which is up under here, which I'll show to you in a minute. It's up under the fender well, and each has it on both sides. So what we're going to do, we're going to remove these 2 first, and I'm going to come back and show you how to remove the last one up under the fender well. So guys, once you remove these 2 bolts, you put them in storage, but make sure that you don't get these 2 mixed up.
the grill 10mm bolts and the headlight 10mm bolts are actually two different lengths. The headlight millimeter bolts are a little bit longer, as you can see, than the actual grill 10mm bolts. So as long as you put them together, make sure that you don't get those two confused. So under the fender well, it's actually a 10mm bolt on the outside, and if you can see behind, it's a 10mm bolt on the inside that holds the bottom of the headlight fixture. I'm going to remove this first one just in case you guys didn't get to see the one behind the fender well, and then I'll come back and remove the one that's holding the headlight assembly. So this is the third bolt that I was saying that's behind the fender well that you use a 10mm ratchet for, or you can use a wrench as well to loosen that bolt and take it all the way out, and this will allow you to remove your entire headlight assembly. So let's get to that. So once you've got all your bolts removed, then you should be able to come back up front and slide your headlight forward and wiggle it out. It might take a little bit, but as long as you wiggle it, it should come straight out. So guys, for the installation of your new headlight assembly, if you already have an aftermarket headlight assembly wired to your truck, then it'll be a lot easier for you. But if you have the OEM setup, I'll show you how to remove the wiring harness and to wire up your new LEDs. So if you have OEM headlights, then most likely you don't have anything spliced to your side blinker lights, or you probably don't have a middle connector that's going to your headlight for your low beam and your high beam. For aftermarket headlights, usually if you pull this cover back, it's some terminals that connect directly to a bulb, and then they go outside of here and have a middle connector that connects to your factory harness. This is the case for your high beam as well. So for your OEM headlights, this connector you don't have to worry about. Your headlight bulb is going to be plugged directly into the factory wiring harness, and this is the case for your high and your low beam. So if you're just starting out, all you have to remember is the green and the black goes to your high beam, and the yellow and the black goes to your low beam. Alright, also to remove your factory wiring harness, you're going to need a T15 star bit and a star bit driver. Usually you can get a whole set of star bits off of eBay, and I'll actually put that in the link description for a couple of bucks, if not 99 cents if you want to buy from China. So what you're going to do is you're going to remove the hardware and the main wiring harness, and this applies to aftermarket and your factory headlights. You're going to remove these, so this will give you access to remove your wiring harness, and it's two T15 star bolts. Now after you have those two star bits loosened up enough where you can remove the wiring harness, then you have one more clip that you just can push up with your finger, and your entire wiring harness will come off. You also want to remove your blinker side bulbs, and you just twist them and both will come out. You might have to wiggle them, but that's your factory wiring harness.